That's me.
Yeah.
Bringing you coffee. That I made homemade. It was a pour over.
I made it. I make it.
I mean, you did give me a haircut today.
I give you a haircut and I make coffee every day.
Okay, you mean the pour over machine?
Okay.
That I found.
Water in it. No, you didn't find it. I found it.
I'm the one who said, you said there's no such thing as a good pour over machine.
And then I found one.
Yeah.
Being good, the execution is good. You always say.
Is that what I always say?
Who found it? Who found it?
Yeah, you found it.
Yeah.
You did find it. It's okay.
I mean, SEO found it because I typed in.
Also true.
All right.
What are we starting with?
Start with, you don't have to stay in the dark, so I'm going to open it. Where's that picture from? You don't have to stay in the dark. I know where it's from. For people listening.
You know where it's from because you were there.
What was that?
Why
don't you tell us that picture of the book in there? Where's that from?
It's a beautiful book that is at the York Minster. And it's over 1,000 years old, and it has the Gospels. It's just that whole place was amazing because, it was just really cool.
I did say when we were in Scotland, and we were in the cathedral in Scotland, the Edinburgh Cathedral.
You mean when we barely got there and could barely see anything because it was closed? Because the castle was closed. Yeah.
But then we walked down to Edinburgh Cathedral. That bit we could do. We weren't much through there, but they did take us 7 and a half. But I remember you being wowed by Edinburgh Cathedral, and I said, remember?
You wait until you see York. Yeah. So this week's theme around light in John 12. I try to look back. I enjoy taking photography, and so I try to look back at pictures that might be relevant or that feel, I don't know, like whatever that week's topic is. And I found this one, and I was like, oh, it's beautiful.
So then, in keeping with the picture, and then obviously what the picture presents, the title is "You Don't Have to Stay in the Dark," which is this week's title for the section of encouragement from the Word, which comes from John 12:46. I have come into the world as light, so that whoever believes in me may not remain in darkness.
This is God's word.
This is God's word, yeah. Thus saith the Lord. So, walk us through a little bit of what that means, both for you and then really, for Christian business leaders. Why that hit you?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime I read, especially Jesus' words, I mean, it's littered throughout the scripture, but Jesus' words especially are always so simple. And, there's so many times where I find myself trying to sound smarter than I am, or trying to put off that I have an understanding of something. And, the creator of the universe and language and matter spoke really simply, but that simplicity was this deep well of meaning. And so, I think that verse is just, there's a lot there, specifically just around that whoever believes in him may not remain in darkness. I mean, so there's an assumption there, right? That we're in darkness, but that we don't have to remain there, may not remain. And that's because light drives out dark. And so then I just started thinking about light is this really fascinating scientific concept. And so as I started looking into that, that's where I kind of got some of the other pieces that I wrote about.
The speed of light, time stops, and then the light travels through darkness and all that. So do you want to just talk about each of those a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this like I know what it means, but I don't.
Right.
Which is, this concept of time dilation, where if you could somehow travel at the speed of light, so you'd have to be a massless object, which is really only like a photon, which is why it's light. 670 million miles an hour, according to, Einstein, you would cease to move. So like time would no longer exist.
So it's purely a thought experiment because it's clearly physically.
Yeah, it's physically impossible. But when I think about time stopping, another way to say that is that time ceases to exist, which is a reflection of eternity and the infinite, which then kind of got me in thinking around the path of, in Exodus there, where, he's like, who should I tell him sent me? I am. Mm-hmm. And that is this, I don't know, it's just a really crazy, deep expression, again, with like a very simple phrase, I am, that has meaning that, women and men have dedicated their whole lives to figuring out relativity and these scientific theories that in the thought experiment, when you say something like, oh yeah, time stops, like God, thousands of years ago, just say, yeah, I am. Tell him I am sent you. That's a big deal. But it's then later reflected in the person of Jesus using the same simplicity to express his nature.
Mm. All right, and then there was something in here that I feel like I remember wanting to ask about, but I think it might be in the second section here.
We can skip around.
Yeah, light travels through darkness and onto that section there. But I want to say it was in this first section. Around. Yeah. Just the idea of, where Jesus says he is the light of the world. If he said he is the light, and then basically you're talking around about Jesus is the light, then he travels at the speed of light, which means he's outside of time. Yeah, this is the whole eternal nature of it all. It's just a little bit mind-boggling. I don't think I'd ever looked at that. The idea of that in that same way. So that was
neither had I.
Pretty eye-opening for me.
Yeah, neither had I. I mean, I love, as an atheist until 18, I loved to ponder the idea of the infinite. But no, I mean, it was really this week going over that verse. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's great.
Because that's what Scripture is.
Yeah, like every time you read it, it's something different. I feel like I've read this verse a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen this on people talk.
Yeah, how many times have I read this?
1,000 sermons and everyone talk about it, it's the same old stuff, but then all of a sudden there's something new.
It's something brand new. And that's why it's because the infinite creator breathed it out, and therefore it has infinite depth. Yeah. So even this thing that seems simple is complex, and the things that seem complex are even more complex. It's just, it's it's awe-inspiring, yeah.
And then obviously light travels through darkness and alters. This one I feel like is one of those, when I remember reading it a couple days ago, it's one of the what do they say? It's only a cliche because it's true. It's only...
There's a huge spider down there.
That's not huge.
If he crawled on you, you'd be scared.
To Jen, that would be huge, but to us, that's not that big, is it?
So I just try to make you aware. I just wanted to make you aware.
Like the mask crawling on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole darkness cannot stop light, it has no power to delay it, deflect or lose it, light doesn't negotiate with shadows, it's and then when you skip down a little bit, the whole let's consider the fascinating nature of darkness for all intents and purposes doesn't exist, it isn't real.
Yeah.
And again, you think you see something, but you don't. Darkness is simply the absence of light. Like that small sentence, darkness is simply the absence of light. I've heard that.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
But that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
The point of hearing it so many times. But it hits you and strikes you at different times in different ways.
Yeah, and
it's a cliche, maybe, like, because
that's right.
True.
Yeah, and that you can just replace the words, right? You can replace, this is the idea of like unpacking earlier on, how kind of darkness is looked at, right, in the world. It can mean evil, it can mean emotional despair, it can mean dissatisfaction, it can mean blindness, right? So if you take that same cliche phrase and you replace the word darkness with any one of those and light with Jesus, then you would say emotional despair is the absence of Jesus, where the soul feels lost and hollow. Evil, where injustice, hatred, and abuse take root, is the absence of Jesus. Dissatisfaction, where nothing in the world offers is ever enough, is the absence of Jesus. Blindness, not being able to see the truth, purpose, or hope, is the absence of Jesus. So it's like, that cliche is infinitely true, but you can I say it later, but like I am hyper practical. Like I like to think about things that I can't understand for whatever reason. It's helpful for me. But you could practically put any of those things in that. Take that phrase. It's a great, actually, I didn't think about that, but it's a great activity to do. Yeah. Take anything, replace the word darkness and light with Jesus, and you can come up with a sentence that's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm playing that thought experiment now, and I'm finishing reading this. Where you like I said, you went into it. This is why we follow him. We have the light. We have Jesus. His light of Jesus, because we're aware of perceived darkness, through depression, through doubt, through pride, through fear.
Well, in the verse too, right? So in the ESV, I've come into the world as light, so that whoever believes in me may not remain in darkness. Believe in me, you may not remain in darkness.
But you could read that in two different ways. Like,
that's right.
May I? No, you may not.
That's right.
Like, you're not allowed to.
That's my favorite, by the way. Still, easily one of the best videos of all time of an older sibling. Yeah, if you've not seen that video, please, Tom, show it somewhere. But we said we weren't going to edit.
No, we're not going to edit.
But for those of who have never seen it, it's essentially a older sister telling her younger sister to go through some hoops of asking for something really nicely. Please, may I have this pen? Yeah. And then she says, please. And then it's, no, but you need to say it like this. She says it again. And then she does it. Please, may I have pen? And she, no, you may not. And then the crying completely starts. Anyway, but yes, you may not remain in darkness. So
it's really, and obviously this just comes down to sometimes how we read the Bible.
Yeah.
How we translate the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into all that.
Yeah.
But how we read it, like, so I think naturally we want to kind of be like, so that you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have
That's
to.
right. Yeah.
Versus, no, you may not remain in darkness. Right? Is, do you read it as an offer or do you read it as a command?
If you break the sentence after so that, right? I've come into the world as light, so that. Now just break that off and read the last part by itself.
May not remain in darkness.
And I think this is, again, this incredible beauty of the infinite and deep breathed out Word of God. And that is, I think all of those things are true. We have the will. But if we do believe, then we can't. Because we've been given the Spirit, and that belief drowns out, pushes out, like darkness can't exist. So.
All right, I'm going to skip over that.
Okay.
To the next section.
Oh, next.
To the next.
Yep.
To the next post.
Okay.
Spiritual disciplines and cathedral thinking. Another great image. Also York Minster.
I was on a bit of a theme.
Cathedral, isn't it?
It was cathedral. It was, that was there at the same time, and I love that picture.
For a city to be a city in England, it has to have a cathedral.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's also what's cool is that this is the king's business, right? We're not talking about the king, but we're talking about the king. And what better place to ponder cathedral thinking than England? Yeah.
Spiritual cathedral thinking. Compound discipline returns of infinite. So tell me a little bit about, obviously you opened up the section, we talked about the book Disciplines of the Godly Mind by Ken Hughes, and how that had an impact on when you read it. Obviously this kind of leads into the practical nature of who you are and actually doing some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, the idea each week is that there's the word, which is God's word, and then the work is just something practical that you can actually use and do something to be helpful. And then the world, is obviously things that are happening in the world that you should pay attention to in business. But as I was thinking about like the end, as I wrote the end, because typically the way I write is I write the word, and then I write the work, and then I write the world. And so at the end of the word, it's like you can start simply, just like read the Bible right now and pray. And then I went, like, there are practical ways that can be helpful, and how many things do we subscribe to figure out how to get things done, have a checklist, have a notes app, have a schedule, have a calendar. We literally hire administrative assistants in business to organize our actions. But man, what if you also did the same thing with your spiritual disciplines? I read Disciplines of a Godly Man as a required reading of School of Ministry. And it was a long time ago, but I remember it was such a cool book for me because R. Kent Hughes just super practical and a truth, like searing truth kind of person. But that just like talking about, hey, here's how you can be consistent in your marketing and you can post every day to tell your story, right? That produces compound results, and you need to, like Novocaine, just give it time. Talk about that all the time in business, but its core truth is in your spiritual discipline, and that doing that will have a shaping impact on you over time.
Yeah, like I'm just saying anything right now. I'm just saying that and talk about that. Talk about business and spiritual life and work life and life like that. Like why do you you've been in business for a very long time, 20 plus years of corporate America, small business America, starting your own business, all that kind of stuff. Like why now do you feel the pressing to but why are we taking such a hard turn, so to speak, on like, if it's not for the sake of the kingdom and someone just not interested. Right, because I think a lot of people would look at your unique gifting in business and your energy and your ability to get things done and the speed of execution and all the things that you can do in business and have done for other people and have done for businesses and have turned this, all the accolades, all the money, everything. And a lot of people on both sides of the table, Christian and non-Christian, will look at that and go, that's fine if you want to be a Christian and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But why wouldn't we want to build a massive business, make a bunch of money, do all of the rich man stuff, be a rich man? Like why is that lost? Is that appetite for it?
I did want it for a long time, and then I got some version of it, and it was nothing. It was hollow and empty, and not just hollow and empty. It was soul sucking. It was life ravaging. So it's this weird thing. It's like the more that I got what I thought I wanted, the less I liked the person that I was doing it. And not to say like I care for people, lead, grow the business, do those things, but it didn't bring anything that I actually was after. Like I would ask my mom at a very young age, like, what's the whole point of why we're here? And I loved the book, The Way Things Work. Growing up, I wanted to understand things. So, it's a very classic story that I think. Why now? Because I've developed more apathy for money and power and influence than I've ever had in my life. And so because of that, I see all of the things that we have, our time, our talent, our treasure, as tools. Those things that I have, the experiences that I've been through, they're tools to use for good. And what is good but the gospel? So, and then when you have that kind of apathy, it's like, well, I'm just going to go do this. Yeah. And then the outcome's the outcome. If it means that, I don't do anything and I'm extremely unsuccessful in the world's eyes for a business, great. Yeah. That's what God wants for me. And that's going to bring him the most glory and help the most people. I just feel like I'm already selfish enough about everything.
Yeah. I'm not saying that to you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I see that. You know what I mean? And so disciplines of a godly man, right? It's like, I'm going to do things differently. Not because I woke up today and I'm such a great person who has this strong desire to give to others and to...
It's exhausting though too, isn't it? Like, you just, as hard as you push on performing for others or performing even for yourself or in the eyes of what you think success is, and then achieving that thing.
Yeah.
And then you just leave you completely bow dry.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
And then
a bunch of you're content for the work and for the
that's right.
The thing that you now got. So you got there and you achieved the thing, and now you're like, no, I don't want it. I hold it content.
Yeah.
And all the work that got into it, I hold it content.
And you essentially, it's just a matter of how quickly you can get there.
Or get to that realization, you mean? Oh yeah, get to the breaking point.
You'll get there. Everyone gets there.
Yeah. What if you don't get there? Do you think everyone gets there?
I think it's a gift to get there. And I do think if you look at the level of like depression, anxiety, sadness in the world, I think a lot of people get there. And it doesn't have to...
It definitely looks pretty common, but
and it doesn't have to... It also doesn't really have to do with business.
No, it's just life, isn't it? It's just like actually kind of just the... So like...
You think that if you have the family that you want, or if you don't have kids, or if you the spouse or the friendship or the, it's like all of those things will always return void.
Truly the grass is greener.
Yeah, and like that the book we were talking about the other day, Counterfeit Gods by Tim Keller. It's like whatever controls you. It is great book. I'm about 30 pages in. Whatever controls you is your idol. Positively or negatively, like whatever makes you feel good. So, these disciplines, right? Like the idea.
Yeah, well, can you just, because I was going off on a tangent now.
Yeah.
But what are the 5 disciplines that you wrote in here?
Yeah, so he covers 17, but, first, the idea of cathedral thinking, it's really easy. It's just that you're going to work on something today that you'll start something today that you'll never see finished, and you'll never even see the benefit. It's planting the tree for your great grandkids that you'll never sit under. it's a different way of thinking. And to build some of these incredible structures, you had to have that kind of thinking. And so in my mind, it's analogous to the fruits of disciplines of a godly man or a godly woman, that those fruits will stretch to places that you'll never know. And you don't need to know. You just know that it's good. You're doing it because you know that you're doing it because it's out of what you know you've been given, and the love that you've been given. Out of that, you want to do these things. So, like I don't know if a discipline of prayer in my own life and with my family will produce, a great, great, great grandchild who prays. But I know what I can do today.
Yeah.
And I know that God says his word won't return void. And so, the 5 that I covered in here are just kind of like the ones that I've found to be like as go-to table stakes that produce some of the others, which is, reading and meditating on the word every day. No set number of verses, just read thoughtfully. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes you might read for 4 hours, and others you might read for 4 seconds. And then the discipline of prayer, I think, getting practical. Like I said, if you had an administrative assistant to set, or you were your own, to set 2 alarms to pray multiple times a day, to confess, to ask for guidance. And then integrity is, the discipline of integrity is keeping your word, especially when it costs you. And just kind of thinking about maybe where things that you're doing don't match what you say, if that's as a husband or a father or a friend or a business person. The discipline of worship. I still have a hard time. I can't listen outside of being on a plane, which is when I listen to this the most. I will be listening to a worship song in the car and crying by myself. Still, all the time.
You're a hard man. So you get to cry,
Yeah, and I don't have to try, and I don't have to. It's just I have lots of people do. I have a deep connection with music, and it reaches a place in me that nothing else can.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really point. Music creates a lot of emotion. The other day, Nora was listening to, I don't know what we listened to, something, maybe Phil Wickham or something was playing, and she said, I feel sad.
Oh.
What do you mean you feel sad? And we were listening to music, and it was kind of like a slow song.
Yeah.
And Britt said, can you kind of explain that to her? I said, music is often written and designed and intended to kind of pull on your heartstrings.
Yeah.
Try to make it as simple as I could in talking to her. Just to make you feel something. And the idea is to make you feel something.
Yeah.
So, and she's 7. She's feeling it.
She is. Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. So then, and like I'm a lifelong hip hop fan, and that makes me feel something, but it's usually just some form of pride. And I love it. I love hip hop. Always will. It's like Taco Bell. You'll never take it from me. But then to have a discipline, right? Again, this is like doing the things necessarily that your body or your natural flesh might not want to. What are you pointing to?
There's your spiders coming for you.
Is he coming for me?
It's not on you, Charlie.
All right. Listening to worship music is a discipline. Some people it more naturally comes to them, but then when you understand the benefits of it and the things that it draws out of you have a deeper reward than a really great Kendrick track. So that book, his wife wrote the other book, Disciplines of a Godly Woman. Yeah. So both of those are worth picking up, or like getting a
Conveniently
getting a ChatGPT summary of them, or there's lots of ways for you to get the information. You don't need to get the book. I like books. So yeah.
By the way, I finished it. You don't build a cathedral in a day, and you don't escape darkness overnight. You don't have to remain there.
Or you may not remain there.
Yeah, you may not remain there.
No, you may not.
With each small faithful discipline, the light gets in. The foundation strengthens, the structure grows. God does eternal things through earthly habits.
And if you take that analogy of light, it's like the sun rising.
Yeah.
When it first gets in, you're kind of just seeing a little bit of things. Your eyes are starting to adjust, and it's progress. It's kind of disorienting to flash a light on when you're in the deep dark. Yeah. Which is why it seems as if part of the beauty in the discipline is that it brings you.
I really like that analogy. It's not, when God created light.
First thing He created, yeah.
It's not like He flipped on a switch. I've never thought about it that way. That God created the light to come up slowly, and reach a high point, and then come back down.
Yeah.
Like we have a light bulb that we flick on, or a mag light.
It's unnatural.
It's unnatural. It's disorienting.
Yeah.
Literally used in torture.
Yes.
Whereas God's like, no. Slow down. We're going to just do a nice...
Greater light for the day and a lesser light for the night.
We're going to do a gentle ease in.
Yeah. And we've got this. I've got this other light for
I
you.
never thought about that. That's good. All right. Switching to our final section.
Gear down.
AIO is the new SEO. Can you just, first of all, when you get a second here after I read it, but I explain AIO and SEO as far as what they are.
Yeah.
But then obviously we'll talk here about the new war for visibility. Obviously this is the section here that we talk about.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people have heard about SEO, which is search engine optimization, and it's just a artificial intelligence optimization. Both of them, put very simply, is building disciplines through your website, your content, the way you put content up, the way you build essentially all of your content to move up the search list.
Right, so for those of us that might not know, how do I interact with SEO on a daily basis? From an experience standpoint, I mean, clearly I already know about what SEO is, but why?
Yeah. Anytime you're on the internet, essentially, right? Anytime you're on the internet and you're looking for anything, or trying to find something, or interacting in any way, you are somehow touching SEO on a website, on a platform, on a search. So, and that's driving kind of like this bedrock to where the searchers come. So, a lot of people pay firms to do SEO, and sometimes it can be like really good. Other times, I mean, you can do search engine optimization without having to like pay for an ad on search.
Yeah.
But most people just go that route.
And the whole point is to get me to the top of the list so that when someone searches for coffee shops in that area,
yeah,
I'm one of those.
Like anybody who knows marketing never clicks the sponsored.
No.
Ever.
Unless you want to pay.
Yeah. Somebody you used to work for that you want to pay for that ad, and I'm not going to convert. $1 for the click, and now I don't convert. So yeah, there's a lot of data out there, but there's tons of information that shows, and I think people know this intrinsically, but search volume on Google has just
plummeted.
Yeah. And it's where people would go.
You wrote that in here, actually.
I did, yeah, 25%. But people use like the search bar on their browser on their phone, like in Safari, which Google paid for, right? Or you use actual Google. And more, especially skewing down, of course, there's the early adopters and the late adopters. People are using large language models, right?
Like now, from a practical perspective, no matter what you're doing, more and more people are now going to Grok or ChatGPT or wherever they're going and saying, give me the difference between X and Z, and if I'm going to this country, where should I visit? And
all of the places that
you've always done
Yeah.
the last 10 years on
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves and now Google and right?
Yeah.
You're now doing it on these platforms because you've already got it open because you've been using it for something else.
Did people do Jeeves?
I did Ask Jeeves
That must be an English thing.
for a hot second. It was nice. He showed up with like a little. He was in a full tux.
Yeah. Well, we're in North Idaho too, so you got like, DuckDuckGo and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to keep your information
Trump is
privacy.
what it is now. It's not Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, that's good too. But I think, when you look at how you search for anything, when I want to know what's medium rare internal temp on a brisket,
Yeah.
I don't go to Google. I don't go to Safari.
And probably the reason that I'm interested in your thoughts, probably the reason is because if you do that, you end up getting served a bunch of ads and SEO around recipes.
Correct.
And who to use and this
Correct.
and that. Like,
And you get retargeted and you get this, and all of that's going to happen.
yeah, you say, hold on, I just want to know what may I?
Yeah.
145, 150, just give me the number. That's all I need.
And so that world is changing because the large language model is like the ChatGPT is using information that's on the internet that exists there. So, it's kind of just doing what you would do otherwise, searching the internet, searching X posts. Yeah, and if you haven't on tools like Grok, it actually shows you what it's thinking.
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah, so if you type something on Grok, there's a little box that shows thinking, and if you expand it,
You can actually watch it do it.
you watch it think. It'll go, the user seems frustrated with my answer. I think they're talking about this. No, they're not talking about that. I mean, you watch it think. And so you can see it also then doing the searching and doing this. And so, I think the point really is that, there are going to be new tools coming out that will help brands measure and improve how you're represented in those searches.
And you gave kind of 3 steps here on for people that might feel overwhelmed by it or even just interested in figuring out, right, great, so I'd like to be maybe not ahead of the curve but part of the curve.
Yeah.
What are those 3?
Yeah, so essentially,
audit presence.
so auditing your presence should be the first thing you do. Like, you always test and learn. So, if you want to know what ChatGPT thinks about your company, ask it like you were a consumer. Ask the questions that your end prospect client, would ask potentially. So what you're doing is you're taking what normally goes into SEO, which is where they try to hit certain AdWords, certain phrases, certain questions that somebody might ask. Who's the best electrician near me, right? And you're doing the same thing, go through that same practice. So if you are running SEO, a good one is you can just take some of the SEO stuff you're doing and then come over into GPT and plug those phrases in and see what results you get. And you don't have to pay anybody to do that. But very easily, like, hey, so for Shermer Portfolios, hey, I want to be I want to find a tactical investment research firm. Tell me who the best companies are out there.
And see if you pop up.
And see if you pop up. And if you don't, then again, this is kind of the second thing is using an actual tool to figure out how to then move up that search. So it's called SEMrush AIO. It's new. I haven't used it yet. I asked for a demo. I think I have a demo maybe next week. So if I figure anything out that's good, I'll share it. But I don't want to say it can't be that complicated. It's doing the same thing. When you look at where the results come from, they come from content. So if you are the type of person who's pushing up a bunch of content that says best whatever, you're going to show up. So what you really just need to figure out is is people's behavior different on GPT or Grok? And I would say probably not that different.
Still humans.
But you're going to have to make some adjustments. So use and partner with a firm if that's not in your wheelhouse. And then, at the end of the day, like, you need to not be static. So you can't pretend like this doesn't exist, and you can't go, well, I'll just show up where I show up. So you need to take some steps, even if it's basic steps, like the first step. So it's really more about just, the last one's just be active and forward in figuring it out versus waiting for the tidal wave to hit you and then being left behind.
Yeah. And I like the way you finish this one too, because like we talked about, doing everything under the guise of, is it for the kingdom, is it for the sake of the gospel, is there a Christian ethos behind it?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the way you kind of framed all of this is people are searching, totally change, the mission doesn't, what is the mission? Like what's the point? Like why we're trying to be visible, why are you trying to, because you could just fade into the darkness of search and of AI and of not popping up, like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Things change. But can you just kind of give a recap on why you think it's important to be visible?
It's like social media. You can choose to not do it because you think it's overwhelming or dumb or evil or some republic is controlling all of your information. You can do that. But you are intentionally choosing to not maybe reach one person through your content to help them.
Yeah, and this is the crazy thing about impact, right? Like you don't know what your business might spark in somebody that then that person has, an influence sphere of 100 people, and one of those 100 people has an influence sphere of 10 million people. Or you might have no influence, and that's okay too.
Yeah, it's
Or your kids. It's not really about quantifying it.
No.
It's more about, it seems like it's more about just being a faithful steward of it.
That's it. Being used.
With the potential of it having an impact, but then also being like, and you say this all the time, so I like it, but you do the planting and the chucking out seed and then. Scripture.
Yeah. We plant, we water, but it's only God who grows, and so.
But if you're not planting and watering them.
You're missing an opportunity to be used and for your time, talent, and treasure to be used. I want to be a part of helping people for good. So if that means that I have to look stupid or I have to do something I don't want to do or discipline myself to do something I don't want to do, but that means that, a single mom somewhere will be able to go to sleep tonight feeling 5% better than she did all day. I'll do it all day. So, AI is not, all of these things are just the world changing, and it's more opportunity for you to use them for good. So, use them for good, but don't just not use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. And that's all 3 sections that you wrote on this week, so.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, yeah. Until next time.
Is that you pointing at me to say?
Do you want to say anything? This camera?
No. I'd go on hot ones, but I've got nothing to say.
No.
He'd have to do some real digging.
Oh,
no.
Yeah,
He'd have to talk to you essentially.
No, not me. To get the digging?
Yeah.
You'd have to change a lot of the premise of the show, I think. But.
No, I think what's cool is this is the first time we're doing this. We sat here for the last however long talking about how to do this differently. What do we want to do differently? Should we just keep doing this? Should we not do that? And at the end of that was like, well, what's the goal? The goal is to be helpful and to serve the kingdom. Literally, yeah. Or someone might.
Yeah, one person.
And
your mom?
My mom for sure.
Yeah.
Mom, comment below.
She definitely just commented. She had already commented, and now she commented a second time.
She's a killer, man. That's my mom. But yeah, it's called the King's Business because it's all his business. We're just stewards. So we're here stewarding this to be something good. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Done.
Goodbye.
Bye.